Thank you, Jess, and good morning to you too. We've got the SsangYong Utes Racing Series first up on a massive undercard, 6 support categories, as well as the obviously mainline attraction here today, the Virgin Australia Supercars Championship penultimate round. Chris Pither has joined me back in the commentary box for this one, and it is seriously wet out there to start things off. Light showers, Crispy, have turned into a bit of a downpour before the first race.
It's definitely looking wet out there now. Going to be very interesting to see the SsangYong Utes rolling start. I think we're going to be in for an action-packed race. Yeah,
imagine pouring 29 of these things into turn 1, side by side. This is how they'll line up. Rowan Shepherd, pole by just 5 thousandths of a second. Kane Barry, he's got rally driving experience. Will he be the man to watch out for? There are 6 female drivers. The first is Christina All-West. Callum Hedge, he's just 14 years of age. He'll start outside row number 2. It's a massive field. 29 of these SsangYong Utes in total, pumping out 3.2-litre Mercedes engines in these wet conditions. Going to be very entertaining. 12 laps on the board to get us started. Be amazed if we don't see a Vodafone safety car in this one because the conditions are very treacherous. And a reminder, they race on the same tyres that they do in the dry, so grip will be difficult. Safety car pulls into the lane and says, have at it. Let's go racing at Pukekohe. Hope you're enjoying the action wherever you're watching from, whether it be New Zealand, Australia, or anywhere around the world. This is the SsangYong Utes One Make Series. Korean Ute racing in New Zealand to start off the coverage. Rowan Shepherd bringing us to the green flag alongside Kane Barry. Nothing separating them in qualifying. The wipers going. Let's go racing. And this could be absolute chaos. Even start in the front row. Intense battling in the mid-pack. They'll go 3 wide through the SsangYong sweep where everyone giving each other as much room as they need to. Shepherd holds the lead down towards turn 1. Twice a runner-up. That's why he's NZ number 2. We go on board with Alexandra Whitley. Peter Bennett on her outside.
Someone just getting a little bit squeezed.
Oops.
On the exit there, out onto the curb.
That was Peter Bennett. I think we saw him on the outside. He was trying to go around the outside of his own partner, which would have been interesting if there was contact there. Christina All-West, defensive.
Last thing you want to do in these conditions is end up on those painted ripple strips. It'll really compromise this run down the back straight. It'll be vulnerable into 5. On board with Callum Hedge here.
Yeah, steady
looking for the crossover.
There. Not bad technique for a 14-year-old. You might just have got the overlap. You'll be on the wrong side of the Husqvarna hairpin. That's turn 8.
What it needs to do down here is keep Christina as tight as possible into the hairpin.
You should get away from him there, yeah. So Shepherd, Barry, All-West, Hedge, Bailey, the top 5 at the moment. 4-speed sequential box, new addition for last season. Fast really part of the racetrack too.
Really treacherous in the rain through that sector of the lap there. Get a little bit of streaming water across the track and promotes a lot of aquaplaning. So hopefully those Hankook tyres pump the water well.
Barry on the defensive from All-West gives Shepherd a chance to build about a 1-second lead. And a surprisingly well-behaved opening lap to the SsangYongs. This is what we're talking about with Bennett getting squeezed onto that curb. Very tight. From Whitley's point of view.
Just a little bit of oversteer there.
Right, that was
Bailey. Completely unintentional.
Whitley
struggling to put 130 horsepower to the ground.
That's how wet it is. Whitley played that beautifully, picking up a couple of spots. Now Christina All-West goes through to second. She's working on that one. Nice move.
At the moment, Rowan Shepherd looking comfortable out in front there. Got a couple of car wing sweep. Lots of action back in the back. We might go 3 wide here into Husqvarna hairpin.
Chance up the inside. That's Paul Booth. makes it stick. Nicely done. A little bit of racing room at the exit there on that curb, and we make that position stick for Booth. Nicely done. Back on board, Alexandra Whitley. Oh.
We've got the phone fired up for this one. Looks like lap time. She's not FaceTiming her friends at the moment.
You can just see it over near the A-pillar where it says number 4. That's letting her know what gear she's in. And then she's also got her lap times popping up on the phone, which is pretty cool. I think I saw Callum Hedge with something similar. Another interesting thing here, Crispy, they don't run headlights in this category. They're all covered over. So on a day like today, very tricky conditions, you don't even have the headlights to help you out. Just how much water do we have off track here today after a lot of showers last night? Wow. Massive puddles when you drop the wheels off the edge. Great replay. The first thing I noticed walking through the support categories today was just how much water there is. Big puddles everywhere at the moment. And Ryan Bailey here, it's got an issue.
Potentially slowing here down the back straight. Hopefully it's not nothing too major. It's a real challenge at this track, especially. I think you know, in these conditions, I mentioned it before, you get a lot of streaming water and standing water on the circuit. Really important. You can see the shiny spots to the left there. Alexandra flies up the inside.
Round 1 winner Matt Gibson going side by side.
This battle's going to go on. Up and over the hill, it's going to be tight through here.
Oh, this is brave stuff. She rolls out of the throttle. Her mirror already bent in. And that is seriously good racing. They were side by side for at least 3 or 4 corners.
I don't think they touched at all.
Very clean. Can Gibson hang tough on the outside here through the SsangYong sweeper? That'll be brave. Has to fall back in behind the tailgate of Alexandra Whitley. Great racing for position. And that was for 5th.
Definitely close up at the front here too. Christina All-West now on the back of Rowan Shepherd.
We were talking about these tyres earlier. Doesn't matter if it's dry or wet. That's what they run on these Hancocks. And you get that one set of tyres, not just for a race meeting, for the entire season.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other categories that would have that scenario. Obviously, one second round into the series now. They all got a new set of tyres at Hampton Downs last weekend, so everyone's in the same boat, similar condition tyres, similar wear. No one can get an advantage through throwing a new set on for the rain.
Talk about tyre conservation. You wouldn't want to go flat spotting one, turn 1, race 1, practice 1. In round 1, there'd be a long year from there. Cool shot of the new turn 5, 6, 7 complex that's been added to the track in 2013. And here's a change for position. Hedge up the inside. Couldn't quite make it stick. Oh, couldn't get a gear either. Now he's in second. So we'll probably come under attack here. Lost a lot of momentum. Wait for Whitley. She'll surely be sniffing around. Not quite close enough. Speaking of that new complex of corners. Oh, just getting run out of road and big slide. So Dion Cooper, but that was a nice save. Fight for the leaders on. And Christina All-West goes through.
Did look like in the previous shot like she was slightly wider up over the hill, and that obviously gave her a good run down the front straight.
Just motoring on past. So nicely done from Christina. Started on the second row, moving forward, leads on lap number 5, and doing so with a little bit of a buffer already. She's checked out. She's out of there.
And we've got one round there. Morgan Froster.
Hopefully that's stayed off the wall down there at turn 2. Trying to get this car moving, should be able to stay green. The Dale ITM entry leading the way. Big battle pack forming still in this battle for what is now second. Back on board with Whitley. Hedge going defensive. Back down to first. Did exactly what Hedge did last lap.
Yeah, still choosing to use first gear in the rain. Bit of a helping hand.
That was a big lose. Did well to keep it off the fence. We saw the Duke, Paul Morris, have a moment there 12 months ago, trying to run side by side with the pack. So how big is that lead? Big enough in this championship. We know how tight these cars are. The fight for third is on. Hedge looking racy, goes to the outside of Kane Barry. Not going to make it stick around the top, surely. The 14-year-old, how's the bravery?
He's going to try and hang in there and have the inside for turn 2. This is looking wild.
Couldn't make it work, but man, points for trying.
There's a focus on getting a good exit here, staying off the curbs, maximising the drive, and I'd say he'll be on to attack into turn 5 here to potentially pick up a little bit of a slipstream along the back straight. As he wipes the sweat off his forehead.
Well, it's surprisingly warm today. You're rocking the shorts today, Crispy. It's impressive. It might look like it's all that warm watching on TV, but kind of similar to the Saturday at the Gold Coast, where it looked a lot worse than it was.
It's on a shiny part of the road there. Is he going to get it pulled up? Is that a bit of a rear lock I heard? Yes.
It was seriously optimistic down there from Callum Hedge. Couldn't quite pull it up. You'll have to slot back into line here. Meant to go through that Shell V-Power chicane, but he'll be patient and slot back in behind, or needs to slot back into 4th here. So let Kane Barry go through. Whitley will try and pick him off as a result. They'll go side by side for a moment. Can she make this one work?
Yeah, Callum just went in there pretty deep, and he was on the shiny part of the road, the wet area, and obviously just not quite as much grip. We want to try as much as possible to stay on the dull part of the road like the guys are on now.
Halfway home in the first race, All West has built up a handy 1.8 second lead. Shepherd under attack again, side by side through the SsangYong sweeper. How's the open face helmet for Kane Barry? Old school, and the view from Hedge is cool. Hold on, here comes the curbs. Barry's not going to pull that one up. Well, said he's got rally driving experience. He needed it there.
Rowan should get a better exit onto the back straight here too. Potentially gain that position back. Already got a run. He's pulling out of the slipstream. He's got overlap, but now he's on that shiny part of the road, so his braking capability into turn 5 will be a little bit compromised, but he looks like he's got enough overlap to get the job done.
This is a good scrap. Good scrap in the SsangYong Utes. And now Shepherd, twice the runner-up in this championship, goes back to runner-up.
This is all working in the favour of Christina All West at the moment. While these guys battle, she's building that lead.
And that pack is just getting bigger and bigger. It's sucking more cars in. Second down to about 8th now, that fight.
I was blown away in the qualifying yesterday. You know, top 10 qualified by, spread by 0.6 of a second. And, you know, that's what's promoting this awesome racing we're seeing at the moment.
Well, that lead for All West will probably be over 2 seconds, courtesy of this epic battle that's going on for P2. She completes another lap, and the gap has extended. How much now? Just 1.9 seconds. So she's not taking a huge advantage of this as the 14-year-old hangs it out. She was seeing some good stuff through turn 1 at the moment. Has to fall back in to line before we get down to GJ Gardner-Holmes' corner, turn 4. That's the patience. Now we go, battle action. Mallard fighting away. And Booth actually picking that spot up. That'll be for P17. So they're scrapping the whole way down through the pack here, Crispy. Oh, this is good. Couldn't quite pull it up. 64, Fletcher goes around and whack. Unfortunately, Parkinson had nowhere to go.
There's actually quite heavy contact there, massive dent in the side of that, so hopefully no steering damage.
And now Whitley's picked off Hedge. So Hedge looking at potentially going up to 3rd, finds himself in 4th. We're right on board with him.
Rear lock again there. just down to
He's busy.
first gear without quite enough heel toe to match the engine RPM to the road speed and locking those rear tyres. Really compromising his run off the corner too, unfortunately.
He tried to grab second mid-corner, it just didn't go as well. Here's Bennett now, side by side with Brooke. We've seen them run 2x2 through here before. Takes a lot of trust. Oh, sliding from Bennett. Can he catch it? Nicely done. I remember the first year we saw the SsangYongs race here, Christina Hall West got fenced really hard going through there, fighting on the last lap. Got spat into that fence. This is what we saw down at GJ Gardner Homes. Fletcher tried to get a run up the inside, lost it. Parkinson tried to miss him. It was a moving target. Lost a bit of that side skirt as well. Whack. Oh.
And it looks like potentially punctured that left front tyre, unfortunately for Parkinson. An innocent bystander on that occasion.
So the track is drying slightly. Back on board with Hedge. Been plotting this move for a few laps. He's Whitley again on the outside, so he's actually passed Alexandra. She wants it back. Got two onboards out there in the field, and they're both racing each other right now. Back down to Hedge's favourite corner. Let's see. I think he's taking a different line and different technique through this corner every time, and again the rear's chattering around. And again he's vulnerable. Oh. Shake of the head from Whitley. Lost all that momentum, and Matt Gibson says, thank you very much. She's frustrated behind the wheel.
I'm keen to see one of the two with the onboard cameras try second gear out of that back hairpin in these conditions. I just think it could help the drive off the corner. Whenever they have gone back to first, they've really struggled to put all that power to the ground.
Plus they've been locking up, trying to get back to first as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it's compromising entry and exit slightly. And saying that second gear might just be too tall.
3 to go. We've got bits and pieces lying off the racing line down there at SsangYong Sweeper. We've got Christina Hall West with a handy lead and Shepherd wide. He'll be vulnerable. Here comes Kane Barry. The two that started on the front row together go sideways and side by side. This is on for P2. Good racing.
That oversteer of Barry didn't seem to compromise his drive off the corner too much.
Look at the run that the 14-year-old's got. Double toe off the two cars. Actually has to get out of it. Had too much momentum. Gee, these Merc engines are copping a battering, aren't they? They rev hard. It's still side by side.
This is a good opportunity for Callum Hedge. If he positions himself well with these guys running side by side,
here we go.
Bit of a hip and shoulder there. He could capitalise massively here.
Yeah, needs to work up the inside. Here we go. Whitley also going at it with Gibson. Still Shepherd and Barry go side by side, and Hedge thinks about getting one, loses one, and so does Brooke. He loses a few. He spins off down at the Husqvarna hairpin, and still these two are side by side. This started in turn 4. They have been side by side for nearly a whole lap. What a battle for P2. And a big slide as he seals the deal. That is a great, great piece of driving from Kane Barry. That all started when Shepherd went wide at turn 2, and coming out of turn 11, it's finally done.
Nearly in a complete lap side by side, and Rowan's not going to give up. He's going to try and fight back here into turn 1.
No, surely he's not catching that one. He's gathered it back up. Well done. In the background, Gibson goes wide. And the leader's off as well. Christina Hall West running off. Oh, they're all going crazy on the last lap here, Crispy. What's going on with 2 to go? This is madness.
Matt Gibson was actually creeping up the order there, capitalising when everyone else was battling, but unfortunately that mistake at once just cost him immensely.
I think Christina Hall West was probably just watching all this unfold in their mirrors, and then she bowled a wide down at turn 4, just watching this epic battle for second. Still going on.
I love the fact that everyone's got their mirrors turned in as well here.
Where they're going, they don't need review mirrors today, Crispy. This is awesome. What a battle for second in the SsangYongs. Somehow, out of all of this, Hedge is still sitting in fourth. He wants to do something about it. He wants third. Here he goes. He's going to use the fenders this time. Oh, and again, first gear. It's not working for him. Finally
like
gets second.
Alexandra Whitley actually really capitalised there.
So too did Bennett.
I think she picked up 2 for the price of 1 through Husqvarna hairpin on that occasion.
She went from 5th to 3rd. And Hedge goes to the back of the pack. Again, he goes from trying to move from 4th to 3rd and loses spots. So this is Whitley's point of view. She'll get 2 here. Oh, it's so calm.
Yeah,
nice.
Perfect. She really approached the hairpin as far left as possible, which opens up the exit. Nice straight run off the corner.
That's awesome. She's got her partner behind her as wingman. That's what the communication was about. Let's go that way. Follow me. Oh, no, she's in the fence. How did that happen? Don't tell me there was friendly fire. Oh, big time damage to the front end of Alexandra Whitley. After all that hard work. Oh, she has to be patient here as well. Whoa, that didn't look like it was going to end well, and it did. Yep. Whack. Dixon joins the party.
That's far from ideal. You could see him coming in. He'd already lost the rear.
And there would have been
between turns 3 and 4 there, I think.
There would have been yellow flags down there as well, I imagine. So
definitely should have been yellows. So not ideal.
Here we go, last lap, last couple of corners. What's been a highly entertaining, as always, SsangYong Utes Racing Series Race 1.
Struggling to keep up, but Rowan Shepherd back to P2.
Hard act to follow, aren't they, the SsangYongs? It'll be Christina West. She's been doing a bit of GT racing lately in a GT4 spec Pro Drive built Aston Martin. Her and 18-year-old Chelsea Herbert have been racing together and having a really good time with it. She's using that experience and she's moving up, and she'll pick up a race swing in the SsangYongs. Race number 1 goes to Christina West. Checkered flag is out. She drove a clean, beautiful race. Hedge, he was battling away, wasn't he? He'll come home in 6th, and oh no, this car is seriously wounded. She was sitting in P3. Oh dear. Well, that couldn't have gone any worse, and I don't think they'll get that fixed in time for race 2. Whack, so big lose.
Looked like it rotated really fast there. I don't know if she's touched the curb or got a bit of a helping hand. Oh.
Whoa. Tried to power out of it.
Yeah.
Oh. But it was the next impact that was just as bad. Here we go. Oh, man, that is a nasty hit. Look how much her head moved in the car. Hold on. This will be a horrible feeling. Whoa.
Yeah, just being concertina between the ball and the car, and obviously compounded the impact.
Oh, that is seriously unpleasant. Nasty, nasty way to finish the race off for Whitley, and that's a shame because it was going so well for her. Well, it's another lady who gets the win, Christina West. Like I said, 6 ladies in the field, and it's one of them getting the win. Rowan Shepherd, that guy always finds himself in 2nd. This could be the year, though. He's putting together a nice championship. Peter Bennett home for 3rd. He was 8th at one stage, so he was actually the big beneficiary out of all of that. Hectic way to start the weekend in terms of racing. Whitley made it home 22nd. Hopefully they can get that car fixed up.